you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
all in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. The Eye Test with Pierre, McGuire, and Jimmy Murphy.
The Stanley Cup winning Colorado Avalanche. And after 22 years, Raymond Moore
The sickest NHL podcast. It's gonna be sick.
And welcome to another edition of the Eye Test here in the Sick Podcast Network. Pierre, McGuire, Jimmy Murphy, both of us back in our home studios after a wonderful week over in Ireland, in Dublin and Belfast. Pierre, how are you today, my friend?
I'm well. I have had one extra day to prepare for this rather than you. I feel badly for you. I know where you're at right now. So good for you for playing a little bit hurt, Jimmy. But that was a very fruitful mission over to Belfast in Northern Ireland. And I just can't say enough. Thank you to the people at the Harry Lemon, especially Michael, for their hospitality and kindness. Thank you to the people at McConnell's for their hospitality and kindness. And I can't say enough to our longtime partners with the Harp. Thank you for your hospitality and kindness. And finally, any of this happen without Sarah Stanton at Cara Travel and without Robert Fitzpatrick and Steve Thornton and everybody affiliated with the Belfast Giants. None of this happened. So thank you to everybody. And we can't wait to be back in less than a month.
That's right. That's right. And I'm really excited. And I echo everything you say there too. And Pierre, I'll give a shout out to the staff at the AC Marriott Belfast.
Yes.
Amazing place. Delicious breakfast every day.
Yeah.
Hospitality is bar none. The best that I've dealt with. So a big thanks and to the Trinity City Hotel that we stayed at for the first time. I love that place. It was very nice. So
yeah, it's in a good part of town.
Yes.
Everything's close by.
Yep.
It's good.
It was good, Pierre. It was interesting. We were coming down on a bus. I was with Joe Bertagna and Josh Hagwell coming down on a bus from Belfast to the Dublin airport yesterday before my flight. And we're just sitting there, and the guy in front of me, unbeknownst to him, that Joe Bertagna is right behind him, starts talking about the Friendship 4 book that Joe and Robert Fitzpatrick wrote. Mm-hmm. And so Joe says, "Hi, I'm the writer." The guy was complaining that he couldn't get a call. He couldn't find it anywhere. Yeah. And he said, "Here you go. Here's my address. I'll send you a free copy. No worries at all." But I got to tell you, what a fun time driving down with Joe Bertagna and the stories that guy has, specifically from when he was goaltending coach for the Boston Bruins. We had a ball, and we're gonna get together sometime over here, not just leave it to our trips to Ireland.
Yeah, but you're both Arlington guys. That's why you got to get together. Arlington, Mass. You guys all stick together there. It's like a little mafia group. I get it. On another note, I did send an email to the people at McConnell's, Mr. Kelly, John Kelly, today. And what we're really trying to do, and we don't want to bore our people because there's a lot of stuff happening in the NHL, but Jimmy and I would like to do a coaches roundtable at McConnell's Distillery before the tournament starts and before January the 1st with the 4 lady coaches that will be over there representing their universities, and just get a state of where women's hockey is from their perspective.
Amazing.
And really, more than anything else, illustrate to people just how competent these young people are that are running these organizations at the college level, and what that's doing for the PWHL, which is obviously booming in most of the cities where they are. So love to do that. And I know, Jimmy, you have that on your calendar. I've already taken the first step with Mr. Kelly, and
great.
Hopefully, I know you've got a lot of connections there because you spent a little longer around them than I did. But everybody, the PR staff at McConnell's was phenomenal. Like, that's professionalism personified.
Yeah.
Really, really phenomenal.
Really is. Shout out to David and Ross as well there that helped us facilitate that amazing experience. I'll tell you, Pierre, like, I think was it Justine, your daughter, telling us how many likes the pictures from McConnell's were getting on Instagram on our page at iTest Podcasts. I think it was over 11,000. People could not believe just the backdrop we had there and the atmosphere, and when they realized that it was a prison as well. So fascinating. I know that some people had told me that they're going to go over there for the women's and go to do the tour there. And also, how about our friend Shane Fuller giving me a message there on Twitter? Did you see what I sent you where he went out and bought a McConnell's bottle right after watching us?
No, I didn't see that.
Yes. Yep.
You sent that to me?
Yeah, I'll send it to you again.
Okay. Yep. No, I'll look for it. It's been a crazy day.
I know.
You know, I've been
same here, whirlwind. But I wanted to make sure I said that. And
thanks.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool that he said good call. He got the best one. I forget the name of it. The green bottle. the green ball that we had.
I will tell you this. So I was at the airport early on Saturday morning, and I bailed out at the last second, but I was like, I'll take one little nip before I go. and I didn't. And I can't wait to get back because you know what? I enjoyed a glass of that at the Marriott with a nice big ice cube. It was good. And I would definitely have it again.
Pierre, it's I'll tell you this because I've been there early like you. I came home with you last year at the early hour. When you're there normal hours, it's a lot more bustle, a lot more restaurants open, a lot more stuff going on. So it's great. And I sat with the same fellow that was on the bus with us. I caught up with him. He was on my flight that's going to buy Joe's book. And you know what he asked me? One of the first questions he said, "Did you get to the Merchant?" And I said, my friend Pierre McGuire would love you asking that. He loves that place.
He doesn't miss the Merchant. I went to the Merchant 3 times on this trip. And I think I'll probably go 3 more times when I go back at the end of December with you. I just can't say enough. And the Clossier, which is the pub attached to the Merchant, it's good. The food's good too.
Like you're in another time era. It really
is.
Well,
I like that. I like those historic places.
Me too.
And I like the way everybody carries themselves there. There's no yelling and screaming. There are no bar fights. It's just everybody's like, relax, sit down, have a good time, chill. You want a McCollins or you want a McConnell's? Here's a McCollins, you know? Yep. You want a Jameson? Have a Jameson. You want a Guinness? Have a Guinness. Like, there's no yelling and screaming, and everybody's kind of like just having a good time.
Yeah, it is. And Pierre, congratulations to Miami University.
Yes.
For winning the Belfast. Winning the Bell Pot there at the Friendship Floor. They beat Union in a thrilling game, 3-2 game there. I had a great time calling that with Aaron Murphy, who you got to work with in the first game of the tournament. I did the next 3. It was an amazing game, back and forth. And also, too, it got pretty chippy at times. And there was some penalties where guys were just taking liberties right in front of the referees. I want to give that referee staff throughout the weekend credit for being consistent. There were no question marks as to how they would ref the game each game. They did a great job, I thought, of keeping things under control.
I agree. I said that during our broadcast on Friday afternoon between Union and Sacred Heart. I thought the officials established a standard and stuck to the standard. I thought it was really well done.
Yeah, and Pierre, you told me to watch Morozov, the player on Miami. Yeah. Man, were you right? You said you think he's going to be a first rounder. Pierre,
yeah, there's a good chance.
Everything. He does everything. It's crazy.
Yeah, he's a special player. Yeah. He's going to have to get a little harder on things, but he's a really talented kid. Coach Noreen knows what it takes. They'll do a good job with him there, I think. Coach Thibodeau, like the whole group there from Miami, they'll know what to do with him. Yeah. If he doesn't go in the first round, he's not going past the 5th pick of the second round. That's
currently what I saw in 2 different places. He is ranked 35th overall. So he's
so you got to remember that ranking is probably a combination of Euros and North Americans. So I'm going to say he's probably going to slide down in a good way, not a bad way. Some people say up. I'll just say he's going to slide from 35 probably. Like I said, I don't think he'll get past the 5th pick of the second round. I'm saying like 27 to 31 probably in there. That's probably
he was good. He really impressed me. Great effort there. And congratulations too to Mr. Grimes, Doug Grimes there getting the did you know he's now on Miami? He's the only player in Friendship 4 history to win the Belt Pot
twice. At BU last year.
With 2 different teams.
He did it at BU last year. And that was the Shane LaChance miracle on ice. Shane was phenomenal in that game. Yep. Now part of the New Jersey Devils organization. And then obviously Dougie, who I've known forever because I had him in a lot of hockey camps and stuff when he was a young boy. But I'm really happy for Doug. That's good. Really good. Nice. Well, how about the visit we had with Doug at the Harry Lemon? He was awesome.
Oh, yeah. It was great. Yeah. It's great. And by the way, that win propelled Miami into the top 20. They're now at 19 in the race.
What's Union at, Jimmy?
They dropped out.
Yeah. So they're probably 23, 24, probably.
Yeah. Others receiving votes. Yeah. They were one of the others receiving votes. They didn't list the exact number.
Yeah. How many ECAC teams are in the top 20, Jimmy?
Let's go.
I'm sure Cornell's in there. I'm sure Dartmouth's in there.
One.
Is Harvard in there?
2. Harvard is not there yet. They're receiving votes team as well.
Yes, they lost twice to Michigan this week, and Friday wasn't good for them. They got blown out Friday 5-1, and they were down big on Saturday, and they came
Almost
back and
pulled it
pushed
off.
overtime. Yeah.
I saw the highlights on that.
Yeah.
So
How about Will Horkoff at Michigan?
oh my gosh.
Pittsburgh. So last year he had 4 goals total. He's almost at 20 now.
Right.
You're not even at the halfway point.
He's playing with Michael Hage, right?
Yeah. He's a first round pick of Pittsburgh. I would be shocked if he's back at Michigan next year.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, Pierre. But listen, I know we've been talking a lot of college because of the Friendship 4 and all that. So let's get into the pro stuff here.
Yes.
And I want to start
before you get going. I don't want to start on a bad foot, but I want to be totally upfront with everybody.
Okay.
Yesterday was a hard day. Most of us that follow the NHL found out about Kevin Dineen, who's been diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. And I've known the Dineen family for a very long time. I was really good friends with the father. I coached against Jerry when he played at Plattsburgh State, coached against the father in the NHL, who was line mates with Gordie Howe back in the day. And Kevin was just an unbelievably great player, whether it was at the University of Denver for Canada, at the Olympics, at Hartford, with the Philadelphia Flyers playing for his father. He was an amazing warrior, and he's got an unbelievable fight ahead of him. And I texted him yesterday just to tell him, like, when you diagnose with cancer, like, it's all about atmosphere that's around you, the friends and family that support you, and positive vibes. It's really important to be positive. And I'm just thinking of him and his family. His son, Will, signed with Montreal. Will Dineen, who played at Yale. So I'm just thinking hard for him. Thinking hard for Clayton Keller and his family after losing his father. And I couldn't believe that one. That was unbelievable. That's really tough. And then,
both in there, we know what it's like.
Yeah, it's never easy to lose your dad. I'll tell you that right now. It's never easy to lose your mother either. I'm thankful that I haven't done that yet.
Yep.
But it's never easy to lose your dad. And so for Clayton and his family, Jimmy and I and everybody at the eye test are thinking of you. And then finally, 2 pretty significant injuries. One, Kyle Palmieri. I know everybody's celebrating the play, but for an older player, that's a significant injury, an ACL, and he's out for the rest of this year, and who knows how much longer. And finally, Adam Fox. Yeah, that's a tough injury. So tough stuff emotionally and physically. And we're Jimmy and I and everybody at the eye test, we're thinking about all those families and all those people, but in particular, Kevin Dineen. Everybody involved in our circle is really up to bat for you, and we're thinking of you.
I met Kevin one time. I only had one conversation. I met him plenty of times. When I say I met personally, sat next to him in a press box at TD Garden one time. He was scouting, and he was such a gentleman, was pure class, and just loved to just talk hockey. It was just great. A couple times we were like, we better watch the game here a little. He was telling me so many great stories. So yeah, I'm with you, Pierre. We send out the best to him and his family.
Yep. Last time I saw Kevin, we were at a Yale Colgate game, and our sons were taking face-offs against each other.
Oh, wow.
We were sitting in the stands watching. It was pretty cool. That's
pretty good stuff. Pierre, I want to start, obviously, a hot topic last week, at the end of the week and into the weekend, was Vancouver, and they continue to be, as plenty of rumors circulate around them, but it's pretty obvious, right, as for now, Quinn Hughes isn't going anywhere. Now, that being said, yesterday, as I was flying home, I remembered that yesterday was the 20th anniversary of a very big trade in 2005, November 30th. Do you remember what trade that was?
No, there have been a few trades. I probably would.
I'll give you a hint. A player involved is coaching the Boston Bruins now.
No, just give me the thing. Don't play games.
The Joe Thornton trade happened 20 years ago yesterday.
Why would you say Vancouver? You're talking about Vancouver and you're throwing in Joe Thornton?
Because I'm going to draw a parallel. You have to have patience.
Well, no, you can't just say that. That's like
I apologize. So, based on what happened with that trade 20 years ago.
I just want to confirm this. You were talking about Vancouver, and then you started talking about big trades. Now, I know Marco Sturm was involved in that trade, and I know Wayne Primo was involved in that trade, and I know Brad Stewart was involved in that trade. They had nothing to do with Vancouver.
Yes, I know. But you're going to see why I'm drawing a parallel, and you'll see the connection.
Okay, I'm listening.
Okay. Well, now Jim Rutherford finds himself in a very similar position. He's got a franchise-type player. How do you handle this trade if you're Jim Rutherford and Patrick Alvin and not end up like the Bruins were 20 years ago and have people still talking about it 20 years later. That's the parallel I was trying to draw. That's all.
Okay.
I apologize.
You hung me out to dry with your question.
I'm not hanging you out to dry. I got hung out to dry.
I was going through my Rolodex here thinking, who was traded from Vancouver like 25 years ago?
It was a bad intro. My bad.
Anyways, okay. No, it's okay. It's okay. We're allowed to have fun too in this show. You don't always have to be serious. The number one thing, I'm not going to lie to you, they won't like this in Vancouver, but it's not my problem. Don't let the ownership get involved in the deal. That's what happened with Thornton.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everybody blames Mike O'Connell for that deal. The blame goes higher than Mike O'Connell.
It does.
So I would just say, don't let ownership get you. I think it's really important that you run everything by your ownership group, but you don't let the owner tell you who the players are that should come back. And I'll give you an example, and I'm not going to tell you who the owner was, but I was very deep with an ownership group to be the GM, and they started asking about this player being traded or that player being traded. And I'm like, why would you guys do that? Is this part of the interview process? And they said, well, we just kind of want to know how you would feel if we got involved with the trading process. I said, I'll never make a trade without informing you, but you're not going to tell me who to trade and you're not going to tell me who to bring back. And if that's the case, then you probably shouldn't hire me because I'm not going to do that.
Good.
And
good.
I didn't get the job, and we were way deep. We were way deep into the process.
Yep.
And
I think that played a role.
And I know who got the job, and he's no longer in the job.
Yeah. Interesting. Do you think that played a role in you not getting it? That you were
Probably,
that in front of
probably, wow. But I can't help that.
No.
I would
respect that as an owner. That a guy is very honest with me like that.
Anyways, I don't want to take a job on false pretenses.
Yep. I agree with you on that. So in terms of return for a player that caliber, Pierre, what do you have to get?
Well, first of all, you got to get it so you can get him signed to as many years as you can.
Mm-hmm.
Might have to be a sign and trade. I have no idea. Number one. Number two, I mean, let's put it this way. Think about these guys and tell me what you'd be prepared to pay. What's Cale McGuire worth on the trade market? What's Miro Heiskanen worth on the trade market? What's Josh Morrissey worth on the trade market? What's Jake Sanderson worth on the trade market? What's Lane Hudson worth on the trade market? And when he's not hurt, what would Adam Fox be worth on the trade market? They're all about the same, except one guy's way past everybody else right now. McGuire. But what are the rest of them worth?
You got to have three components at least, right?
I would say might even be more.
It might even be more. I mean, it's a hard deal to make, Jimmy. I'm just going to tell you. It's insane because I feel like when you're in that position, GMs they kind of get bent over with, like, they know you got to move this guy and we know how great he is, but we're not going to give you the full value. And I don't know how you work around that.
You got to value, if you're doing a big trade like that, you always got to value the skill part's important, obviously, but you got to value the team building aspect too. So the brilliance of Craig Patrick as a general manager, I'm just telling you, I worked with him. I've been in the war room with him. I've seen him. He was amazing. He was an amazing team builder. And he always knew that you'd have to trade good players in Pittsburgh because the budget wasn't there to be able to keep them all. But if you were going to do that, you had to bring back assets that were tough and that would help in the team building aspect of the group. So when he traded two future Hall of Famers, think about this for 1 second. He trades Paul Coffey and Mark Recchi in the same deal. Wow. And he trades them to Philadelphia, the biggest rival the team has in Pittsburgh. Washington was not that big yet. It was getting there, but it wasn't there yet. And you trade two future Hall of Famers because you knew Coffey was going in and Recchi was trending that way. Right. Young in his career. And you bring back Rick Tocchet, Shel Samuelson, and Ken Reagan. And you can go look it up because I'm not making that up. There was a GM in the league that said Pittsburgh just got wiped out. They have no chance of winning the cup.
I remember. Yep.
So that pitch, this just shows you when you do these deals, you can't always judge a book by its cover. That team that Shell and Rick were part of, and Kenny Reagan too. I don't want to forget Kenny. That team won 11 straight games to win the Stanley Cup. No team did it before that ever in the history of the sport, and no team's done it since.
Amazing.
So he traded 2 future Hall of Famers, Jimmy, 2 of them, for Rick and Shell.
Yeah.
And Kenny Reagan.
Yeah. And that's why I brought the Thornton thing up, because I'm just thinking in my head, I'm like, how does he not get enough? Like, it's such a tough position to be in, but you got to start prepping for it now.
Better to take less than too many. Take higher end players with character,
right?
And we got to get 10 guys. Well, you're not going to get 10 guys. So I'll give you, here's a one for you. And this is for all your viewers and listeners that know Calgary and know Toronto. When Dougie Gilmour got traded from Calgary to Toronto, there was only one guy that knew both ends of the deal. There was only one guy. It was Cliff Fletcher.
Yep.
So Cliff Fletcher was prepared to trade Craig Berube, and Cliff Fletcher was prepared to trade Michel Petit, and Cliff Fletcher was prepared to trade Gary Lehman. He was prepared to trade all these guys, all of them. But he only wanted one.
Yep.
He only wanted one guy because he knew both sides of the deal. And the guy he wanted was Gilmour.
Yeah. It was a great deal by that.
Worked out pretty good for him in the Leafs.
Yeah, I would say so. That was a crazy deal back then. I remember that happened.
We were in Calgary when it happened, Pittsburgh Penguins. And I was in the coach's room with Scotty breaking out. We were there early that day. I don't know why we got there. We had an off day. We were there really early. And I think I did this when we had Coach Berube on. He was the first guy on the ice after the trade was announced. I hear this.
Oh, yeah, you said that. You said that when we had him on. Yeah, I remember that.
I'm in the office, and anybody that knows in the Saddle Dome, the noise flies around. I'm down the hallway, and I don't think the coaches' rooms are in the same place now as they used to be. And I could hear this bing, bing, bing off the glass. I'm like, what the heck? Who's out there? So I got a cup of coffee, and I walked down the aisle. There's Berube on the ice by himself. We already knew the deal had gone down, but he was on the ice by himself skating around.
God bless him. That's a hockey player. Good for him. All right, Pierre, a couple things before we get to our questions too. We didn't get enough time to talk about it the other day on Friday just because we're doing the remote there and so much going on at once. But Mike Matheson, in the signing he made, the choice to stay there for less in Montreal. You've been singing his praises about this kid for a long time, long before he got to Montreal, way back when he was at Boston College. And everything you said has proven to be true. How great is it to see an athlete do something like that in this day and age?
It's great. And it speaks to the character of Mike, the relationship he has with Montreal, the relationship he has with his family. Obviously, his wife's a big part of this, and she agreed to stay. She's a young lady from Buffalo, New York, who played in the Olympics for Team USA. There's a lot of great parts to this story. They got a young family that they're raising. They don't have to move. This reminds me so much. It's the reverse John Tavares. We talked about it when we were overseas. It's Johnny T. It's Mike Matheson did what Johnny T did. Happy where his family's growing up, a team that he worshipped as a kid growing up. Mike worshipped the Montreal Canadiens just like John worshipped the Toronto Maple Leafs. This is going to be a huge asset for Montreal. He's an Anglophone, which matters in the marketplace, but he's also a very well-spoken bilingual person.
Right. That
matters a lot in that market, especially if you're going to be a leadership player. Mike's legs haven't left him. Mike's probably got 5 to 7 years left, high-end, real skating ability. So perfect matchup, play with Dobson. Now they got to get Gooley back at some point. But the defense is trending the right way. But Mike going there, this brings other players into the marketplace where some guys wouldn't think about it anymore.
Right.
Now they're going to think about it.
The other thing I want to point out, too, is I remember, too, when you said once he was taken off that power play to not have to rack up that many minutes, you watch his game will elevate 5-on-5, and it certainly has.
Yeah, I felt so bad for Mike. Again, I go back to watching Mike play for Lac St. Louis Lions. I go back to watching Mike play in Dubuque. Go back to watching Mike play at Boston College. The guys that recruited him, Greg Brown and and Mike Kavanaugh are good friends of ours. One's a head coach at BC, one's a head coach at UConn, but they recruited Mike Matheson out of Dubuque for Jerry York. So, I mean, there's a great history here of what this person's about. And never forget what we've talked about with Coach York. He'd much prefer to have a great person than a great player.
Yep.
Because the great person can be coached.
Oh, yeah.
The great player who's a bad person can't be coached.
Yeah. Pierre, in talking about, remember we were at the Harry Lemon there, Matt Thomas was hanging out with us.
Yeah.
Bill was there. Talking to a lot of these college coaches today, that's the vibe I get from them too. Like, you look at Anthony Noreen and how he had to put together that team with so many new players. But I remember him telling us character is just as much, if not more than skill. And that's because that's how you build a culture. You can have a bunch of skilled players, but if you don't have enough great people, you're not going anywhere.
It speaks to your point really well. And I thought what you asked was really poignant before. How do you do this deal? How do you do this big deal if you're Vancouver? You look at what they've gone through.
Yep.
All the stuff last year, the shenanigans that happened last year. Okay. Bad, right? Bad. There's stuff going on there this year still. I mean, they're going to say it's not, but there's stuff going on there. And this is not a reflection on Adam Foote or his staff, by the way. No, not even close. They got a good staff there. They just got to get some players now. And Jimmy knows that, and Patrick Alvin knows that.
Yep.
They know that. They know that.
For sure. Pierre, quickly too, I know you even though you're overseas, you were following the Habs strongly there. But I mean, you look at that game Saturday. That's just one of, like, we talk about situational games. We said it heading in. It's probably going to be a long night for Montreal, and it is what it is. But that being said, I'm looking at Colorado right now, Pierre, and I really have a lot of 2022 vibes. Like they just, even when they were still way up in the score, they could have sort of dropped back a bit. They didn't. They kept going. They're blocking shots. They're poking pucks out of the zone. There's something going on there. Like it's
29. Number 29.
Yeah.
He's mad.
Yep.
He wants as many cups as number 87 has in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So he's got some work to do.
They're following his lead.
There's no question they are. He's got 20 goals in the league, and the next highest goal scorer is a guy named Morgan Geekie who has 20 goals in the league, if you can believe that. And good for Morgan. It's really a good story. I'm happy for that kid.
Such a humble kid too. I
think it's great.
Yeah.
And then begs the question, like, what was Seattle doing and what was Carolina doing on Morgan Geekie? Anyways, we move on.
And quickly.
No, I want to just tell you one thing.
Yes.
You know how much I love the goal differential stat?
Yes.
Colorado is plus 48.
Just miles ahead of anyone.
Dallas Stars are the second best goal differential.
At 22.
22.
Yep.
Think about that for 1 second.
Oh, I know. And another team with a good goal differential I want to mention too, because they're on fire. And everybody was down on them when they had a rough start, but I don't hear much praise right now. They are turned their season around. They're doing great, and Brendan Hagel's been unreal. He's
been really good. Well, how about the number they did on the Rangers?
Oh,
Rangers, 14 shots on net. How many, you know what you should do, Jimmy? Because you're really good at this stuff.
Yep.
Cut and paste all the post games of the New York Rangers coaching staff and players.
Okay.
And just see after losses. It's the same thing. Yeah. Unacceptable. We're better than this. We got it. Really? How come every game it's like this?
Yeah.
Every game. And all we talked about, not to make it personal, we said the Rangers are overvaluing a lot of their players internally, and the Rangers didn't shop enough in the offseason. Did we say anything else?
No.
That's all we said.
Yeah, there's skill there.
It doesn't mean they can't make the playoffs, but stop saying the same stuff after every game.
I'm with you on that. And, we talk about character guys and team guys. They need more team guys. I thought there should have been a bigger response on that hit on Fox.
There was no response.
I mean, there was absolutely no response. There should have been at least something. I mean, you got to do something there.
So I was traveling that day, but I landed in New York and was able to watch the game. I had a 5-hour layover at JFK before I flew south. And I was like, nobody's going to do anything?
Yeah.
Like Brandon, and he didn't, by the way, I didn't think that was a dirty hit at all. It's just an unfortunate play.
But still.
But I'm like, so Brandon Hagel gets a free pass?
Yeah. There's something wrong there still. I don't know what it is, but they better identify it fast or they're not going to be playing.
Well, I just want to make sure I get this right. So Trouba's in Anaheim, Kreider's in Anaheim, Keandre Miller's in Carolina. Like, at some point, do you think that maybe some of the decision making is flawed with internal players? Because I think they've overrated a bunch of guys internally.
That point needs to come ASAP here, because whether they want to admit it or not, they're running out of time. I mean, it's December 1st now. So, all right, let's get to our wonderful sponsors. And I'll tell you, I've been craving an Italian meal, and there's no better place than when you're in Montreal. Go to Vago. They've been open for 23 years, longevity that not many restaurants have anymore these days. Private dining rooms for any occasions, B-day engagements, corporate meetings, plenty of free parking after 6, open Monday to Saturday evenings, and lunch Tuesday to Friday. They only use fresh quality ingredients. They combine old world Italian with new Italian. You got to go over and ask for Tommaso and all the crew there, and Angela, everybody. Guys, tell them the eye test sent you. And he is actually, Tommaso is one of the most popular men in Westmount, so he'll know everybody. If you need more things to do, he'll tell you where to go. He's a great guy like that.
Got the most infectious laugh of any restaurateur I've ever heard. His laugh is unbelievable.
It's great. It's great. We look forward to hanging with him over the Winter Olympics.
Yep.
We're going to start getting plans together for that soon, because we'll be here before we know it. So looking forward to being there throughout the Olympics at lunchtime, bringing you the eye test live from there. All right, Pierre, and our other wonderful sponsor, Betway, where you can still go all the way with Betway and bet the beauties. So go over right now to that QR code in front of you if you're watching to join the action, or you can go to the website, go to the members section and fill out your details there. You must be 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. Always bet responsibly. And remember, this is not available in Ontario. Pierre, I've got 4 picks today. There's a lot of games for a Monday. That's 2 Mondays in a row that we've seen this. I'm going to go with the Flyers money line over the Penguins. I like the Sabres puck line. I also like the Anaheim Ducks on the money line. And then I like the San Jose Sharks to score in the first period. Let's go to our questions right now. All right. Oh, Brodeur, HOF. I love the 10:30 a.m. start time. I can watch from my work desk. Could you regularly schedule more early times like that? Happy holidays to all. Hey, we'll try. You'll get us some early starts, and we're over in Ireland again at the end of the month and into January, so you'll be able to do that then.
You know what else is going to be early? And you just nailed it with what we're doing at Vago. That's going to start around 12 or 12:30, I think, Jimmy.
That's right.
So that'll be good. That's a full 2 weeks of early broadcast. So the only thing we got to do for Jimmy is find him a place to live in Montreal.
Or in Belfast.
Yeah, Belfast would be special.
Hey, Pierre, can you take the next question? Because I'm having an issue here right now.
Sure.
I'll sign right back in. I'll be right back.
Put it up there, Shane. I'll take care of it. Juice _ -UX 8KY. Connor Bedard is currently tied for second in the league in points. Why is there any question if he should be on the Canadian Olympic team or not? Well, because one of the guys he's tied with is Macklin Celebrini for goals anyways. So it's not that easy. And you have to think that Tom Wilson's going to be on this team. A lot of people are speculating that maybe 1 or 2 of the Tampa guys could get dropped off the team that was at the Four Nations. I have to think Mark Scheifele's still in the hunt. What about Nick Suzuki? I have to think he's in the hunt. So making a Canadian team is hard.
It's going to be really hard.
Really hard.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying he shouldn't be on there. I'm just saying it's not that easy. Just say, oh, yeah, Connor Bedard should be on the team.
What about USA, Pierre? Are there any guys you think that could usurp some of the guys that we saw on the previous roster?
Yeah, I don't know where Patty Kane fits on this. How many goals he got? 3?
Yeah.
I have a hard time
All
believing.
due respect him. He's a Hall of Famer. But
I got to think Cole Caulfield's getting some serious love there. How about the injuries on defense? Like, you don't know whether Charlie's going to be back at 100% in McAvoy, and you definitely don't know about Adam Fox.
Yep.
And I know people were up in arms about Lane Hudson. We go listen to our shows. I'm like, injuries happen.
Yeah.
I'd be shocked if Lane Hudson's not part of this team.
I saw Bill Guerin. I want to go back to Caulfield, and that's why I brought up the USA team. Bill
Yep.
Guerin had an interesting quote last week, Pierre, and I apologize. I don't remember where I saw it, so I can't attribute it. But he was talking to somebody where he said, I love Caulfield's game, but if you look at the way this tournament's going to be played, he doesn't fit that style. And he started to talk about how physical it's going to be, the NHL size rink, and this and this and that. And it got me thinking, Pierre, I like that he wants some snarl to his team like he had when he was a player. I get that, and that's fine.
Yep.
But at the same time, you got to take the best players, because we've seen in the past in the Olympics what happens when you get too obsessed with identity as opposed to the best players.
I just want to ask the question at the Four Nations. I still haven't heard a reason why Kyle Connor was a healthy scratch. I would like to hear that addressed at some point.
Yep. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the USA as well. All right, next question. Ethan Russell, 5512. Could you see the Red Wings try and inquire about Evander Kane? That's interesting. They could use some snarl.
I'm going to say no.
But just because of that contract and everything.
I'm going to say no.
All right, next question. GB8814. Pierre, do you think the Habs give up their blue line too easy? They are often backed up all the way to the faceoff circle by the time the opposition crosses the blue line.
Yeah, not every game, but I see what you're saying. Later on in the trip, you could see they were getting tired. That was a hard trip. You go into Utah,
Really
then you go into Vegas, and you're going to Colorado. It's 3 games in 4 nights, all in different time zones.
Don't forget the elevation.
Yeah, that's a hard. So let's see how it goes starting tomorrow night against Ottawa. Ottawa's, obviously really struggling right now after last night. I watched the entire game.
Yeah.
Really, after the Stützle turnover was tough. Timmy's a great player, but that was a tough, and the whole game swung right there. If you haven't seen it, go watch what happens. He turns the puck over for no reason, and then Jason Robertson scores, and that's it. The floodgates open. But we'll see if Montreal gets it back in the rails. That's a last game in a 7-game road trip for Ottawa. Last game in a 7-game road trip for Ottawa.
All right, next question. Pierre, what do you think of man-on-man coverage? How do the Habs do it? It seems like Colorado really exposed the system as well.
I'm not a big fan of the man-to-man. You can have certain places where it's man-to-man below the hash marks and from the goalpost to the corner. But when you're up high, and they love to run a high cycle, that's a lot of ice to cover in a man-to-man situation, especially against that team that's built for speed. So, yeah, no, and if it's a 3rd game in 4 nights, it's not. But I'm not a huge fan of total man-to-man all around the offensive zone or your own defensive zone. I'm not a fan of that.
For Habs fans too, I wouldn't be too hard on the Habs for that loss Saturday. It's just one of those situations.
They're another Colorado's. That's why I use it. This is a stat that can never be debated.
Yep,
they're plus 48.
It's crazy, and the rest.
Nobody's close. The next highest is plus 22.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. So if they come out flat against Ottawa, then maybe I'll be worried if I was a Habs fan. All right, next question. Franco, how do you feel about the Habs 3rd line? I feel like everyone's focusing on the 2C, but I don't see a proper 3rd line, with a proper identity.
I think they're working through stuff. They've had some injuries too.
Yeah.
Don't forget that. So they're still trying to find younger guys that can fit in certain situations. I like the fact that Bolduc's starting to get going offensively again. That's really good. I think Slafkovsky's really started to improve his play. Demidov's got to get more consistent, I think. There's still a need for one more center. I know Kirby was there, but Kirby's not there anymore right now anyways. So I still think they've got to make another acquisition. I think they feel the same way as a management team too.
All right, next question. What do we got? John Smith. Cheers, guys. Do you think the Habs' injury woes put a potential trade for second-line center on the back burner? I know it's not a throwaway season, but
no, I don't think so.
No.
But there's a lot of people looking for a second center too. One of the cool things is tonight, Josh Norris, somebody that we really like on this show, he's coming back for Buffalo tonight. It's going to be interesting to see what he does, how he does.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's a player Montreal goes after, but that's going to create some vibe around the league and maybe some other guys that might be part of Buffalo's group.
All right. Interesting. Let's go to the next question. Tag-N2H. Any updates on the Olympic rink in Milan? Are you concerned about the quality of ice considering we've had a lot of injuries so far this season?
Yeah, you're always worried about that, especially. But here's the one thing. The NHL deserves a lot of credit on this. Every Olympics I've been around, so starting in 2002, both summer and winter, but especially the winter. The facilities are really looked after amazingly well. Unbelievable professionalism. And what the NHL deserves credit on is they used to send Dan Craig all the time, and he would work with all the officials in the different countries, even in Russia, by the way, about the quality of the ice. So I think that's a positive thing. But I think everybody's concerned about the building.
Yeah. They'll get there, though. They're working hard at it. I know that. So, all right, let's go. What's the next question? Brodeur, HOF, with a bunch of U23 breakout players, how do the Olympic teams weigh bringing maybe a step slower vets with experience versus skilled youth win stamina?
Oh, I think it's easy. They look at size, they look at overall record, they look at experience. There'll be some U23s that'll make it for all the different countries. There will be.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing, not a bad thing, but you can't have too many. Canada learned their lesson after 06. They cut Crosby. They didn't cut him in 2010, but they still had a lot of old guys there. I mean, Niedermeyer was there, Pronger was there, Shea Weber was there. You go look at the 2010 team. There are a lot of old guys there. And Danny Boyle was there. They had a lot of old guys. And it worked out pretty good. Your buddy Joe Thornton was there. You start looking at all the guys. Eric Stahl was there. Like, there were a lot of guys.
And how much, Pierre, are they looking at? Obviously, I mean, it's kind of a rhetorical question, but in terms of World Juniors, how much does that value in if you're looking at one of these U23 players and the success they had on that stage?
Yeah, that definitely matters. No, that's a good question. I think that's a great question by you, Jimmy. No, it matters. It definitely matters.
All right, next question. Ethan Russell, were you surprised Gronwall wasn't on the preliminary USA?
Bruins draft that plays at Quinnipiac. No, I'm not surprised.
Okay. Next question. Mike Malwuni, Pierre, when the subject of the total train wreck, otherwise known as the Rangers, comes up, you always seem to perk up a bit. Just curious, is that team that you refer to was close to hiring you?
No.
No,
I've never talked to the Rangers management once about anything. John Davidson is a friend of mine. I worked with John at NBC in 2005, 2006. I've been on John's, back in the day, his radio show numerous times. So no, that's the most, I'm not going to lie about it. After Jeff Gordon got fired, I had him over for lunch at my country club because I felt really bad for him. And we had about a 2 to 3 hour lunch. It was great. And we talked about a lot of stuff, but I've never once talked to Ranger ownership about anything. And I've never once talked to anybody in the hierarchy that's there now about working with the Rangers. Nope.
I mean, I'm not going to speak for Pierre, but I'll just say that, when we talk about the Rangers and them struggling right now, there is a part of me that looks at it as a bit of a con, because I don't think they've treated people correctly. And that's something that matters to me. It's not about cheering against a team or cheering for a team. It's just, I like the game. I like the people in the game, and I like people to be treated right. That's all.
And I'll tell you one other thing, and people in all these other markets aren't going to like it. The Rangers are a very important franchise in the National Hockey League.
They're huge.
When they're doing well, and trust me, I was a beneficiary of when they do well, especially when you look at them going to the final, not winning the cup in 94, that's long gone. But when they go to the final and they're playing LA, hockey is hot.
Yep.
Hockey is smoking hot. When they go to the Eastern Conference final and they're playing other good teams, hockey is hot. Trust me on that. The ratings spike. They go huge. Ranger fans are highly addictive personalities for their team. They are. And then you get the sexy sizzle of Broadway and the actors and the actresses and the pro sports guys from the Giants or the pro sports guys from the Knicks, or maybe even guys coming over from Jersey. I'm just telling you that when they're going, they're a really important franchise for the league.
All right, next question. Juice, Pierre, out of all the cities you've lived in working in the NHL, what was the best one to live in?
I'm from Montreal, man.
I was going to wonder if you went there.
Montreal for a long time. It's hard to say that Montreal is not the best. Now, I will tell you, the second favorite place I lived, not even a question, was Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
There you go.
I love living there. I get to go back to Mario's fantasy camp every year. This year it starts on March 22nd and it finishes on the 26th. So I'm really grateful to always have the opportunity to go back and work for a guy that I just think the world of. But I love Pittsburgh. I'm glad to be part of their little family again.
As he always says, I'm always a Penguin.
Yep.
All right, next question. Juice, Pierre, what was it like game planning against Gretzky when you were coaching the league?
Yeah, really hard. Especially, I got to see him more. Actually, the only time I saw him as a coach where it was more difficult was in LA. I thought Barry Melrose did a really good job keeping him in the game, talking about away from matchups. He and Cap Rader were the coaching staff in LA at the time, and I thought they did a good job. The player that never got enough credit in LA, besides Gretz, was Luc Robitaille.
Oh, yeah.
And he was a sneaky guy because he wasn't really fast. He wasn't. And he was just so smart, and he was far stronger than people thought.
Mm-hmm.
And so board battles, he was good at. Board play, he was really good at. So Gretz was hard to draw plans for, but the underappreciated guy with that group anyways was Luc. Luc was very underappreciated.
All right, next question. C. Coral, what does Pierre remember about the 90s Sharks teams? Interesting
They
question.
kicked the poop out of us one night. I know that. I was so upset.
I'll tell us or what?
No, here's what happened. Kevin Constantine was the coach, and this is great. So I think we lost in LA, either in overtime or late in the game. It was Gretzky and Robitaille. Mike Donnelly was on that team. Tony Granado was on that team. They were a pretty good team. They went to the final. Then we went down to Anaheim, and we had a 3-0 lead, and we were dominating. And then Peter Duras scored a hat trick. It might have been his only hat trick ever against us in Anaheim. And we lost. I think it was overtime again, but if not, it was really late in the game. And I was PO'd, Jimmy. I was really upset. So I tried to keep it in check, and we had to fly. First, we had to take the bus from Anaheim to LA. So that's about an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had to fly from LA to Oakland, not San Jose, because of the noise pollution laws.
Yep.
So that's probably an hour flight, hour and 20. Then we had to bus down. Bless you, Jimmy.
Excuse me.
And we had to bus down to San Jose, and I think we got in at 4 a.m, and we were playing at like 5 that night, maybe even 4 in the afternoon. We got slaughtered. Oh, was I angry? I was so mad. I remember Chuck Caton and Johnny Forslund. I think we lost 8-2 or 8-3.
Oh my gosh.
I was really angry because we had really been a responsible team that whole road trip. It started in Long Island, and we beat Al Arbor's team in New Year's Day. We were really good. We played well. And then we went to LA, played great, played well in Anaheim. But what I remember is they slaughtered us. And Chuck Caton and Johnny, we stayed at the airport in San Francisco. I think we were at the Hyatt. Maybe it was the Westin. I forget whichever one it was. And those guys said, "You don't look too good." I said, "I'm not good." They said, "Come with us." And we sat in a bar that had peanuts. I'm not kidding you. And you could eat the peanuts and throw them on the floor. And I was going to take the whole bowl and throw it. And Chuck and Johnny settled me down. I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding. That's about as mad as I think I've ever been. I wasn't mad at my players. I'm more mad at, we looked at the schedule in the summer, and I didn't, you're young, and San Jose, they had just come in the league not that long.
Yeah.
And they had just moved to San Jose. They used to play in San Francisco and Daly City.
Right.
So we weren't used to all that stuff. And I didn't do enough homework, and people around me didn't do enough homework, but I'll take the blame. But, I was angry. Chuck and Johnny settled me down pretty good.
Well, hello to Chuck if he's watching. I hope you're doing well, Chuck. Listen, great show, Pierre. Thanks to everyone out there for all your questions and everyone listening and watching. We appreciate it. Again, thanks to everyone in Ireland for all the jobs they did to help make that event such a success. And we had such a good time. We can't wait to get back. Yep. And a big thanks to Shane, too. We're overseas. We're thousands of miles away. And he made us feel calm as he always does, and helped us through. So we appreciate it, Shane. Pierre, what games you focusing on tonight?
Ottawa. No, sorry. That's tomorrow. Pitt and Philly. Pitt and Philly tonight.
Pitt and Philly. All right.
I've got the pregame show coming up with Paul Steigerwald for all our Pittsburgh people. That'll be at 6:30. But yeah, I'm looking forward to watching that. It'd be interesting talking coaching in Philly, and obviously Pittsburgh. I think one of his favorite stops when he played there. You know, he won the cup there.
Yeah.
Rick was a really important part of our group. I'll always have I know he's a Flyer now, but I'll always have a soft spot in my heart for Tocchet. I like Tocchet a lot.
All right. Well, enjoy the games, everyone. We will talk to you here again on the Eye Test on the Sick Podcast Network tomorrow.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Eye Test with Pierre McGuire and Jimmy Murphy on YouTube, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.